Hello and welcome to Puar Academy. We are discussing statistical quality control, and in statistical quality control we have been discussing P-chart. Now a new variant, a rare thing we are going to discuss. As in my previous lectures I have already stated that the meaning of P is either fraction defectives or proportion of defectives. But in some special cases, the P chart is drawn as the control chart for percentage of defectives. Sometimes the fractions are, say, very small. The proportion of defective units in the sample size is quite low. Therefore, plotting of the fractions or proportion on the graph paper becomes very much tedious, and preparing the chart becomes so much tedious manually. If we multiply the proportion by 100, we get percentage defectives. So the proportion or fractions can easily be converted into percentage and the thing becomes quite easier. That is the first thing. Another thing or another new thing in this particular case we are going to discuss is again a very rare. In previous two problems the sample size was equal. In this case see that the sample sizes are not equal. All the samples are of different size. In such a cases it becomes, say, compulsory to analyze the data through P chart only. Another variant, NP, directly plotting these number of defectives on say graph paper, becomes, say, error sum because sample sizes are not equal. So we have to go for proportions or percentage only. But it is not compulsory to prepare or to go for percentage defective charts when the sample sizes are not equal. No, that is not thing. In this case we are discussing two topics simultaneously. The P chart in case of different sample sizes as well as P chart as percentage defective charts. In any other case of equal sample sizes, the P chart can be drawn as percentage defective charts. Yes? So percentage defective charts is not compulsory to use in case of different sample sizes, mind well. But here I am going to cover both the cases simultaneously in one case. In case of different sample sizes, the biggest problem we can see is of common sample size, which we have to use in case of calculating upper control limit and lower control limit. The solution of this problem is to take average sample size and to substitute it in the formula. Number two, in UCL and LCL, remember the formula P bar plus 3 into under root P into 1 minus P divided by common sample size. Okay? At the place of common sample size, we can easily take the average sample size. But 1, here in case of percentage defective charts, not 1 but it will become 100. Because proportion or fraction is always with respect to 1. But percent is always with respect to 100. That's why in formula also take care at the time of writing formula of UCL and LCL. Let's start the solution of this problem. First of all, sigma n is 17,790. You can get the total of these on your calculator or manually as you are habituated. On the basis of that, we can say that mean sample size is total of all the sample sizes divided by number of samples. Therefore, average sample size comes to 1779. As if size of all the samples is 1779. That's the thing. Now, sigma NP. To calculate P bar, we need summation of these comes to 3178. Now we have sigma n and sigma np, so we can calculate P bar. But we are going to construct percentage defective chart, so we have to take the P bar as percentage. Sigma NP upon sigma n whole into 100 will give us the percentage. 3187, sorry, 3100, it is 87, not 78. 87 divided by 17,790 into 100. Therefore, P bar comes to 17.9. We are going to take only one decimal. This is percentage actually. On an average, 17.9% units are defective within all these 10 samples. Yes. Okay, now we can calculate control limits. First of all, central line will be equal to P bar, that is 17.9. Upper control limit is P bar plus 3 into under root P bar into, here it will be now 100 instead of 1 and n bar instead of n. This n bar is taken only in case of unequal sample sizes and 100 is taken only in case of percentage defectives chart. Yes, mind well, both are not coming simultaneously or together with each other every time. Mind well. It will be 17.9 plus 3 into, say, 17.9, 100 minus 17.9 means 82.1 divided by 1779. Minor things are new actually. Just be alert. Keep yourself alert at the time of all these calculations. Plus, and the simplification of all these things comes to 0.9089. That is 17.9 plus 2.73. That comes to 20.63. Therefore, upper control limit of this particular P chart is, say, 20.6. Again, because of the limitation of our graph paper, we take only one decimal that can be adjusted on millimeter line or millimeter box. Now, lower control limit, we have always a shortcut available in case of lower control limit because the difference is only minus sign here. P bar minus 3 into under root P bar into 100 minus P bar upon n bar. Let me remind that n bar comes in the case of different sample sizes only and 100 comes in the case of percentage defective chart only. Both are not every time coming simultaneously. Yes, please remember. 17.9 minus 2.73. We have already calculated that. And it is 15.17. And let me round it off to 15.2. All these are percentages. Mind well. Yes, percent. Because all these are percentages. So in this way, we can use mean sample size instead of common sample size, where there are the samples not having same size or equal size. And in case of P as a percentage of defectives, we have to calculate P bar as percentage and all simultaneously all the control limits as percentage. And for that purpose, we have to use 100 in this formula at the place of 1 normally. So these are the, say, different things. Actually, these are different from the routine P chart. Yes? Now, in the next lecture, we are going to construct the P chart and draw the conclusion. Please don't forget to like my lecture, all other lectures, and don't forget to subscribe my channel and do recommend my channel to all others because it is very useful for all the people, whether they are studying or involved in research or in their job, any analysis, etc. Yes, thank you very much.